It's another day and we're on the mountain working. Today we're gonna jump to the downstairs inside and check everything out, just like we checked out everything in the upstairs yesterday. We're also gonna top out some siding, and if the temperatures kind of cooperate, we're actually gonna paint that siding before we take the walkboard down so we don't ever have to get up there again. You'll see why.
And we gotta get up there today?
It's either us or them. What do you think? It's gonna suck.
Come on! Ah! Can't get them open though.
Dang it.
These are great for doing boxing in and blocking like we're doing, by the way.
16th quarter.
Huh, they
16.
came with 8
you got
deck
those
spacers.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been buying
Patent
those.
pending.
That's what I've been buying for screws.
different sizes.
I got so many of those little cute little green things. I'm trying to figure out what I can do.
You got a
with them.
green spacer collection?
Good for throwing in the dumpster.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a whole bunch of them. I was thinking, like, you know, maybe I can cover a wall with them or something.
First order of business this morning is to box in around this giant area of ductwork right here. The reason it's here is the furnace is in the basement, but it's a split zoned system which allows it to service 2 different levels on 2 different thermostats. That's important. So by doing this, we were able to not buy another complete set of equipment to run the upstairs. That would cost about another $8,000 to $10,000. So now that all the ductwork is done, it's all fire caulked in, we can just build a small chase as tight to this as possible to waste as little space as possible in this office. So I'm gonna start that right now. We're gonna be boxing it in, actually having a little slanted thing up there so that we get this as tight as possible and lose as little space. And you know, it's a small price to pay for saving $10,000.
If you're wondering, this is a mechanical damper, and the thermostats for each floor will turn these, you know, on or off to shut off air to whatever floor isn't calling for air, depending on what the thermostat says.
Yeah, it seems to be working so far.
So Arlo, because these guys are so high up here, like up
Can
there,
anybody reach up and down for this?
he's carrying every piece from the cut station up the stairwell, hanging it out the window, because that's actually easier, right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess it is.
Easier to go behind that.
So if you're wondering why like tall structures can cost a lot of money, that's why. It takes a lot of time to get this stuff and install it up high.
When you're working up high on these gable ends, you can spend a lot of time measuring the length of these pieces, especially since you're measuring to a point or to some other part on this angle. It can take a lot of time. So we have a little pro tip shortcut that'll help you save time and get it done fast. Here's what it is. We know that our lap is 7 inches. So I'm gonna mark the lap height right here on the edge of this angle cut, okay? That's where 7 inches crosses right there in essence, all right? Now, if I do that on both sides, what I can do in essence, there it is, is establish the length of the next piece
Right.
right here on the ground. So the guys on the ladders are not doing it. So I know that that's gonna be the long point to the long point, 26 5/8 of my next piece. Then the cut man just keeps measuring and cutting boards, and we never have to talk about numbers, and they just keep putting them up. Well, that's one way to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Arlo.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Arlo can do it that way.
Arlo marked it an easier way.
Here's a fancy square. I don't have one like that.
Arlo's also using little pattern pieces to mark each cut instead of, you know, doing the measurement from scratch each time or using a framing square. So that saves a little time. And in case it wasn't clear, this works best for boards that actually go the whole length. So once you get up high enough, like say a 16-foot board can actually go from there all the way to there in one shot. And then from there up, you should be able to get every single measurement without having to measure anything at all up high.
I ran into the guy that comes and pumps our porta-john, and he was like, hey, I'm gonna bring you an extra porta-john. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, yours is so frozen, man, I can't even pump it or clean it. So he's just gonna bring us another one. We'll have 2. It'll be nice.
The guys have got this topped out and they're gonna move shop here. Unfortunately, it didn't ever get warm out here. It's probably still 30 degrees, so it's a no-go on painting, but I'm not taking that walkboard down until I get up there and I paint it, and then we'll take it down. I don't want to have to set that up again.
Oh, is the truck getting too hot?
Man, what are you guys trying to do? Put me out in the back corner? What do I want to do? Hey, as long as I just should be this way.
We are making our way through this house and we finally made it downstairs to the kitchen. And that's one place we really need to check out and do something we haven't done. And that's to actually draw the cabinetry on the floor full scale and the bar so that we can place this light over the bar and make sure it's centered over the bar. We're gonna make sure that this light is actually centered over the dining room table. And it would have actually been nice to be able to do this like way before now. But until now, since we didn't have windows in, there was snow and ice in here and the floor was like covered in snow and ice. We couldn't do it. We're gonna do it today. Double check all of our wiring and gas lines, plumbing, lighting, and make sure it's right. A little clarification here. We actually told the electrician to leave all the things we're doing undone on purpose. So he didn't just skip out on us. We actually wanted to wait to make sure we placed them like precisely, and we didn't know where to tell him till we marked some things out and really thought about it. So just want to make sure that everyone understands our electrician is really good. I've got the cabinet dimensions already written here and I'm gonna measure out and mark them on the floor. One thing you need to do though, and I'm gonna do it, is add 1/2 inch out of each corner because that 1/2 inch drywall is gonna be behind the cabinet. If you forget that, everything is gonna be like a 1/2 inch off later. The homeowner has selected, let me just show you, a 48-inch stove for right here. So I'll show you a picture of that. It looks amazing. I wish I had it. And Jamie's gonna check that the actual opening it fits in is 48 inches. That's important.
Yep, let's pull up the specs here.
What would you do with a 48-inch stove? I mean,
Dust it off.
that's right. Cook some macaroni once a month.
Is that right?
So we're going stove, 12-inch cabinet, and then the fridge. Now, why does this come up here? Good question I'm asking myself. But I do know the answer, and that's that there's a block wall to here, right under here, like 3 inches below this. So he couldn't bring it out of the wall because there's not room to like snake it in there. And so we couldn't bring it up like in this area under the fridge. So we're bringing it up in the cabinet next to the fridge. He'll kind of walk it over here and then out the side of the cabinet behind the fridge.
Yeah.
Bang.
Another thing here, this is a 2x4 wall and you need that insulation value. So you really wouldn't want that water line inside that
All right.
cavity
Yeah,
anyway.
that's right too.
But it's both reasons, really.
Yeah.
It really is.
So that wasn't a mistake. That's really what was supposed to have happened. We're also going to check on our cabinet sizes and do blocking for the upper cabinets just like we have here, so that no matter where you put the screw in the wall, you hit wood. We do need to check what's available. Right now, we're actually planning on getting Lowe's stock cabinets. They actually have some nice shaker door cabinets you can buy. We need to see if they're 30-inch uppers in stock or 36 or 42s or what they have, and then we'll do that blocking.
One of the most important things in the kitchen is having the kitchen sink centered on the window.
Yep.
Man, if you get that wrong, I don't care how beautiful the house is, people are gonna think you're an idiot. So,
And why is because the sink faucet sticks way up. So if it's like just off center, you can tell.
it's really obvious. Yep. So we go through some steps here to check and measure, and it looks like we're gonna have to have some filler material to space this sink cabinet to be exactly centered.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing right now is marking.
We've got it marked here, 1/2 inch filler. Bringing the sink base 1/2 inch that way will
Yep.
put it center.
Make it centered.
All right, we've never done this before. So
I'm just winging it here.
Jamie's making a mock dining room table out of a wheelbarrow. And the reason we're doing that is
gonna be
because,
nice.
I don't know.
Really nice.
Yeah.
They might want to keep it actually.
Yeah, I don't think so. So the reason we're doing that is the homeowner said she wants as big an island as possible. But sometimes making your island too big might encroach into like your dining room space and then you wouldn't like it. So we're trying to make sure that we make it as big as it's comfortable.
It's my island.
It's my island. So Jamie's saying the standard table would be 40 inches wide by 6 feet long. Go and wheel her into position there.
Just your basic table here on wheels.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
Centered on the window.
that's looking about right there. We gotta
Okay.
get out of the hallway. We could go a little farther.
I think that way a little further.
this way a little more. Yeah. Probably want a minimum of 36 behind this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's good. There's our bar, two 30-inch cabinets together with the top hanging over about a foot. And we decided that that total of 60 inches was about the maximum we wanted to do given the location of the dining room table. There's our dining room chandelier box installed, and this is for hanging something heavy in case they have something heavy. One code thing is you have to add a wire staple within 6 inches of the box. We got that put back in there and ready to go. Jamie's laying out the two pendant lights now above the bar and make sure they're centered and looking good. We only have one box right now, but we'll get the other one.
Maybe I just go on the outsides of those.
Yeah. One last thing we got to change here. We had this propane stuff roughed in before I had the final specs on the stove. And the stove is very particular about where this comes out. It turns out it has to come out right there is the only spot it works. So I've got move gas there. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Right. We've got Mary out here. She just called an audible, which is a football term, American football, for all of our international viewers. We're gonna add some size to the island. We're gonna actually put upper cabinets, which are 1 foot deep, behind the lower cabinets, and then extend another foot. So now the island is 4 feet by 5 feet total.
Yep.
That will do it.
Yep.
We should hire somebody to do this stuff.
Should. Well, you know what helps though? When you work, like you build up a little bit of like some energy and some sweat, and it's actually not that cool.
Hey, can you get us like a Smart Wool sponsorship?
Should work on that one.
Well, we're done for the day. We are freezing our tails off up here, and we didn't dress warm enough. The weather forecast was way off again. So we got a lot done, but we still have a little more to do to be ready for insulation on the inside. We'll catch that on the next one. Thanks for building with us today, and we'll see you next time.
Seriously.
I know.
I thought it was going to be like 45 or something.
It was not even close.
Figure it out.
I'll text you guys in the morning.
Yeah, we know how that goes. We're not there for 9:30. Just wait longer. It's cool.
That's right. Yeah. All right, then. I'm leaving.